Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is February the 2nd, 2023. And today the topic is doubt and deviation. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Well, what happened yesterday? Nothing really happened the way I thought it would. My acting class got canceled. I went to go hustle in the streets, me and little man. I took him out for lunch. I had planned to take him to Chick-fil-A, but the Chick-fil-A little playground area wasn't open, so I took him to McDonald's instead. And we got lunch and I let him play in the playground area while we were there. I had a deep conversation with the gentleman about God and the Bible and everything like that. And stayed a little bit longer than I had expected or planned to. Then I got out there and hustled in the streets. Um, Up until NJ was like, I think it's time to go home. So yeah, that's what yesterday looked like. Yesterday was full of praise too. Like at some point I just was really just listening to a lot of different gospel songs and just, working and praising at the same time. And it was good. Like it was a good day. To God be the glory for all things. Thankful, thankful, thankful. So with that being said, if you're wondering about today's topic, well, the inspiration is very interesting. Long story short, there was no like numbers associated or anything like that. Um, I listened to my prayer meditation this morning when I got up, but I must have only listened to like half of it because I guess fell asleep and then woke back up and I don't know. But at some point this morning, between that and now, the Lord put on my heart basically like I guess to keep telling on myself, right? It's like a bit of a confessional here. Um, yeah, to share my own testimony in regards to this. I share with you all the time about like um it's not that I doubt the Lord, but I think this may be another way temptation comes my way, right? This may be another um sign of spiritual warfare or something like that, to where on one hand and on one day I can fully see that, wow, I'm at the right place at the right time doing the right thing. And then on the flip side, I can have these doubts and be like, well, should I do this, should I do that, when opportunities and things arise. So today the conversation is about doubt and deviation, and I guess yours truly, me, I am the inspiration in some ways. um because at the end of the day, again, it just behooves us to trust the Lord and to seek the Lord and to ask him about everything, right? Ask him about everything. This most recent thing, I don't think it's a bad thing, right? But I just found it very interesting. Okay, so here we go. Earlier this week, which this week just kind of started, but anyway, earlier this week I came across an opportunity. And when I first saw it, most of the times it's like an acting opportunity. So most of the time, if I come across something that, you know, looks good or looks like it might be something that I could do, then I usually submit. I'm just so used to doing that. That's how I've been throughout life, and you know, and things like that, right? Now, obviously, I understand that God has me on another path these days and stuff like that. But it doesn't take away from my love of performing. It doesn't take away from like uh, me having certain goals or certain things that I guess, aspired to do. And in some ways, I feel like I've achieved those goals, but at the same time, in some ways, I don't feel like I've achieved those goals. And so when I come across opportunities, I'm like, well, I'll submit, and if I get it, then it's meant for me, and vice versa, right? But when it came to this opportunity, I think this was Monday that this happened, right? And so I came across the opportunity. I considered it for myself, but I ended up just sending it to a friend who's in a situation that's a little bit more open and free than mine, right? Um, because again, I am a wife, I am a mother. I mean, I think there's ways that we can make it work, but at the same time, it's not necessarily realistic, and I understand that. But even that didn't stop me from wanting to do the opportunity, right? But the thing that stopped me from submitting my information was basically, I told y'all how on Sunday and Monday I felt like this confirming factor of God moving right in my life through the things that He has shared with me over the past few years, the Jews, the Madame Miraculous books, and what I want to do in regards to faith and science. Like all those different things, I feel like those things are God's led, spirit filled things that are currently in place that the Lord wants to do more with me, for me, and through me through those things, right? Um, However, again, this opportunity came up, and I'm like, was considering it, but the only thing that made me to stop considering it was the fact that I had agreed to do these small groups at the church. Because even though I could probably do the juice still, I might not be able to do the kids group. And I told y'all how people were very interested in the kids group. So, and it would change the way I had it, envisioned to do the small group as well. So that was what had held me up from submitting my information. I just was like, nah, I guess it might not be for me. I'll send it to the next person. And, and I guess, I hear that things went well and whatnot. I'm not sure if the individual is going to take that opportunity or not, but, and so it crossed my mind again, basically. It crossed my mind again. Should I go for this opportunity? Now I kind of pretty much came to the same conclusion. But I guess the process of it is again the inspiration for today. And I guess by the time I got done studying this morning, I think I did start to realize and see that this could be another spiritual attack in some ways, right? It could be another little bit of persecution from the enemy, right? For me in this season to deviate off the path that God currently has me on because of my own desires, because of things that I want to do or things that I thought I would do and things like that. So yeah, there's the inspiration. That's a little bit, I guess, backstory and whatnot. So let's see what I studied this morning. So I did write down the definitions for doubt, and I wrote down the definition for deviation. So the definition of doubt says feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. And then the definition of deviation says the action of departing from an established course or adopted standard. So I can't tell what I wrote here in regards to that last word before standard, but or accepted. That could be accepted. That makes more sense. Let me read it again just in case. I don't want to throw anybody off. So that definition says the action of departing from an established course or accepted standard. I think both of those things sort of represent your girl. Especially deviation. Like I feel like that temptation again would have deviated me from the current course. It would have deviated me from whatever purpose and plan that God has in regards to me in these small groups, me probably in this what I'm doing now, maybe even with GSL and the juice and stuff like that as well. So I have my own ideas, right? Yeah, I have things that I want to do. But I'm trying to be very intentional about like at this point, right? Because I'm seeing what God is doing with me, for me, and through me in the season since 2020, all this different stuff. I've been trying to be intentional about doing things that's not going to deviate from the plan, right? Things that's going to enhance the plan, right? So I mean, I guess these things should have been a clear indication of quote unquote temptation, or a clear indication of, you know, something trying to sway me from the current endeavors. But I don't know. I guess the thing is, like, when it's your own idea, right? When it's your own like desire and all that type of stuff, it makes you, how can I say, like, how did I feel, or how do I feel? I guess it's harder to recognize it when it's your own, right? When it's your own thoughts and stuff like that. But in this moment, I'm sitting here being reminded of those verses that say that, how that verse go? You'll be tempted by your own desires or something along those lines. Ugh, sorry, y'all gotta look it up in the Bible for yourself. But yeah, yeah. So I mean, now, right, looking back on the situations, I can look back and say, I think this was a temptation. I think this was a, you know, X, Y, and Z. But in the moments when I'm sitting here thinking about it and was like, oh, well, maybe I could go and do this and I could come back and da 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 da. I could go and be on the road and tour. I feel like I missed that opportunity to go tour. That I will say, as a single woman, and I tried. Lord knows I did. As a single woman, I did try to get some opportunities to either go and be a touring performer, or I tried to get opportunities that would have taken me overseas so I can get some more travel in, things like that. But none of those things panned out at that time. And so sometimes I think back on that and be like, oh, I should have did that when I was single, and all that type of stuff. And so when opportunities come, you know, it does cross my mind like, well, maybe this is the opportunity. Maybe this is the time. But at the same time, I tell y'all all the time, right? How I see, again, the different things that God has me doing. I see that I've gone through that whole path of being like, okay, do I want to do things that's going to last, or do I want to just do things that are fleeting, or do things that are just for me or whatever? And so, and I made that decision to want to do things for God, right? Do things is what's going to last at the end of the day. Do things that's going to help, encourage, and inspire others. And I'm in the midst of that. I see that. I see fruit from that. Why am I doubting, right? Why do I doubt the path? So I don't know. I don't know if this is helping you all ask these questions of yourself today. Like, if you're presented with different things, and on one hand, you feel like you're at the right place at the right time doing God's will. And then on the other hand, you got these doubts, or you got these things that's trying to deviate you from that path. I hope that these words encourage you and inspire you today to know that, well, one, you're not alone. I'm out here doing the same thing, right? And two, that this is a time to lean and depend on the Lord. This is a time to not lean on our own understanding, and let Him direct our path. So here goes some verses that, I know y'all probably have heard before, but hopefully they encourage you and inspire you in this moment. Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and hope." As I was reading this verse this morning, I was thinking about something that the pastor shared a few weeks ago. He was like, God's plan is better than whatever plan you can come up with. Like, whatever your plan might be, God's plan is better. And so the thing is, even this verse here is telling us that, His plans aren't for evil. His plans aren't to, you know, um, limit me. Like, who knows? His plan still may take me international, right? His plan still may allow me to use my gifts and talents to travel, or whatever it is, whatever else it is that I feel like I'm quote unquote lacking, right? But because I'm, distracting and deviating from that plan, thinking that, oh, well, let me go do this on my own, trying to take the wheel, trying to take the pen like I usually would do, back in the day, a little bit more than now. Yeah, I guess this would be a good reminder for all of us to understand that His plans are better than our own, and that He has plans for us that, are for our good and not for our evil. We can trust Him and His plan, because at the end of the day, I'll just say it again, it's for our good, and again, not for evil. So Ephesians 1:11, it says, "In Him we have obtained an inheritance, having been predestined according to the purpose of him who works all things according to the counsel of his will. Right. Again, I got my own ideas. I got my own things thinking like, oh, well, let me get out here and do a little touring theater. You know what I mean? Something that's going to take me away from being a wife. Something's going to take me away from being a mom. Something's going to take me away from this current ministry of GSL. Something that's going to take me away from the new ministry of the small groups at the church. Like, I guess when you lay it out like this, right, and say all this stuff out loud, when I'm sitting here saying all this stuff out loud, I mean, there's a clear indication, right? But in those moments, I'm like, I missed out on the opportunity to tour when I was single. So maybe this is the time, and all of that. And not to say that it's a bad opportunity or anything like that, but it's good for people that it's good for. And it may not be good for me in this season. Obviously, again, when we weigh it, it don't seem to be. But just sharing, I'm out here again. I'm human too, right? I am. I don't know if I say I doubt. But maybe there is some slight doubt or some slight fear that, oh, I missed my opportunity, right? But that's not true. That just could be another little lie from the enemy. So let's keep going. Oh, when I was reading that verse, that last verse I read to you all, what really stood out to me in that verse was that part that said the counsel of his will. Again, I mean, we've already established that. Well, you know what? This next verse is going to establish what I was just about to say. Isaiah 55, 8-9. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. I mean, what else can I say, man? At the end of the day, again, who knows what the Lord's going to do? He could be taking me on a tour to do GSL. I don't know, what I'm saying? I don't know where this whole thing is going to go, right? And so the thing is, like, yeah, I may have in my heart and mind different things. Yeah, again, yes, I have desires. I would love to go travel more, right? Go and visit other countries and things like that. I mean, I haven't done that type of travel. Like, I mean, I feel like I've done quite a few states and stuff like that. And that's a blessing. But I would love to do some international travel. I would love to perform and do some type of touring in that aspect and whatnot. But who knows? Like, this could be, I mean, hey, we saw already, I share with y'all all the time what this first step of faith has done. And who's to say that, again, this won't do all of that? And then at the same time, too, I can't look down on what has already been done and established in my life. Like, at the end of the day, I may not have been on a tour bus, but I have been flown out to perform at different places. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, it may not have looked the way I thought, right? But I have done quite a bit. So, I mean, I guess ultimately that's the juice this morning, y'all. Don't deviate off the plan and will of God. Don't let doubt, fear, and all those things creep their way in. Because as you can see, it'll take any little opportunity to creep on in and try to get you out the path. But, stay on the path. Trust the Lord with all aspects of your life. And that is ultimately the juice this morning. Y'all can check out the Go Deeper section. There might be some pulp in there, some stuff we might not like, but at the same time, I mean, hey, hopefully it encourages you and inspires you to not doubt, not fear, don't deviate from the path, and trust the Lord. The Bible verse of today, friends, is James 1:2. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Now, tomorrow is Friday, right? So that means a new episode of the GSL Talk Show is coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow will be with Brother Brent. Brother Brent of not Romantic Blessings, sorry about that. Brother Brent of Marriage Reignited, y'all. He'll be sharing his testimony and sharing about Marriage Reignited and his and hers and everything like that. I've seen that his flyer has gotten quite a bit of traction or response or whatever. People are interested in learning about marriage and learning about what he has to say. And he's very, very passionate about, rekindling, rebuilding, and reigniting marriages and whatnot. And so, by all means, check out that episode tomorrow, if the Lord's will. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow for the juice. Bye bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. Again, I hope me sharing my testimonies encourage and inspire you all as well. Understand, I am not perfect out here. I too am, taking this all day by day. Again, yeah, in those moments, I don't think I saw them as temptations. I just kind of saw them as, oh, well, maybe, this could be something I could do. I didn't get a chance to do it before. But at the same time, it's like, I get it. I understand it's probably not the right time or season for me to be doing things like that. Or at least things that's going to like separate me from my family, separate me from the current ministry and things like that. I mean, maybe there'll be a time and a season for that, who knows? Maybe the opportunities that I get to do international travel will allow me to take my family with me. Like, who knows what the Lord's going to do? Like, I can't put him in a box about, him and at all, really. We can't put God in a box, like, which we all try to do. Because, that's one of our issues as humans. Like, we try to fit him into our own box and whatnot, when really we need to be living according to his will, his way, and understand that all things are, under his control. So there you guys go. There's a little testimony from me. Thank you to the person that stuck it out and have been watching me live this morning. Again, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. I got quite a bit to do today. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go get some rest before everybody gets up and come talk to me. My husband and son, they like to come talk to me. But they like to come talk to me when I'm like trying to sleep. Or trying to like woosah. It's like, oh my God. It's funny. But anyway. So yeah. I'm gonna try to, while things are still quiet, gonna try to go and get a few more winks in and I guess get prepared for this day. Filming GSL later on this evening. NJ has class. And I'm gonna be on to What If the Show midday. So it's a sneak peek into my day. I'll let y'all know if that happened or not tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Y'all have a great day. Bye.